How's it going, guys and girls? It's his cousin, her cousin, your cousin Vinny. This video is going to be a deer gutting video. I've been meaning to make this video for a long time now, but it just never kind of lined up. I didn't have the right equipment with me, or the area I was in, I just wasn't able to do it. Sorry. But yeah, so we're gonna take our time here. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna show you how to gut a deer. Should work for any other animal. Should be the same. Well, hopefully this helps people out if they've never done it before. Remember, this is just my way of doing it. Everybody's got their own little tips and tricks. This is just my way of doing it. It works, gets it done, and like I said, hopefully it helps somebody out if you've never done it before. Just remember, always take your time and enjoy the video. Thank you. So basically, if you find your deer, what you want to do is obviously flip him on his back, and make sure, I see a lot of people, what they do is they want to start up in this area. You can see where it kind of V's out white. Anywhere in here, you don't want to stick your knife off the bat, because this is the stomach. Everybody thinks that the stomach is back here. That's false. From here back is intestine. All this here, this is the stomach. You stick it in here, you're gonna pop it, and you're gonna have a mess, and you'll regret it. So what you're going to do is actually start, I like to start back here, and then remember, now this is just my way of doing it. There's other ways people do it. I only take it up to this point after I make my first incision. I take it up to the bottom of the rib cage, and then I reach up, grab the esophagus, cut it, and then pull everything back. A lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll actually cut through this rib cage and then expose everything. It makes it a little bit easier. I don't do all that. I just kind of cut up to it and reach up, grab and pull back. You'll see. So all right, let's get going. Let me adjust myself here, and then we'll get moving. All right, so I already made this initial incision right here. It's gonna come down. Remember, this is all a lot of your meat is right in here, so you don't want to get crazy and cut too deep. And then you just kind of just be careful. You start to see everything. You see that there's a lining, an actual stomach lining. You can avoid that completely. That's always nice. I try to just get underneath the hide at first, just to expose everything, and then start pulling everything back. There's another layer up here too that you'll feel. It's actually the lining in between the vital organs and the stomach. I don't know the exact name for that lining in there, but you know, you'll have to cut through that once you get to that point. But yeah, so just work your way up. It doesn't have to be a big knife. Obviously, I'm just using this little Walmart mossy oak knife. Nothing crazy. You want it to be obviously as sharp as possible. It makes it a whole bunch easier. The sharper the better when it comes to this. But so you'll start seeing the lining here. This is obviously hide. You want to start just peeling this back. Make yourself some room. Don't be afraid to peel back. You're not gonna blow the stomach open or anything. You know, it's not gonna happen as long as you don't go too deep. I'll run my finger actually on the back of the knife like this, so I know I'm not going too deep inside the deer. Just be real careful. Take your time. You know, nothing saying you gotta be fast. So we're almost to the bottom. This rib cage, yeah, it's right here's where it stops. So you can see I'm up to here now, basically where that white ends. You see the V of the belly, the white ends, it starts going brown again, and this is where you want to stop. So right here, you can feel it right on the base of the rib cage. You can feel a bone here. You can actually kind of go a little bit deeper if you want. Also, if you're, say if I was going to keep this buck for mounting, you know, like a full shoulder mount, I would stop right here, and I would actually come around and cut this off, and then from this point, I would take this right here, I'd cut around the I don't know, this joint. I'd cut around this joint, and then what I would do is actually peel. I wouldn't go any further than the rib cage right here, because remember, when a taxidermist gets your cape, he's gonna want a little bit extra, just so he can you know, work with it. It helps out your taxidermist a lot. And from this point, I would actually gut them from here, pull the rest inside of my, you know, hang them up, and then pull down the cape so that you know, try to keep your hide as nice as possible, and try to keep as much hide on there. That's again if you were doing a full shoulder mount. So, in this guy I'm not. So, all right. So from here, now you got your incision. Now here's the stomach. Here's the part where it can all go bad. Everybody always says, watch out for the stomach. Here's your linings. This is all the lining of the belly. This is all muscle in here. Tendon. I'm not even to the stomach yet. But here's where it can get hairy. This is where it can get crazy on you. Just want to be real careful, especially if this is your first one. I've done a bunch of these. See? So like what I said before, this is a great thing to show you. I know I got a little bit of a shadow, but here's the back of the stomach. Here's the start of the intestine, right here. Like I said, you don't want to cut in here because you will pop that stomach. You do not want to do that. You pop that stomach, you're in for a bad day. I mean, there's ways to get around that too. But you just want to try to avoid it. So now here's the stomach. Right? You have that little bit of a lining exposed. See, I'm in the lining. The stomach is right here. I put my hand right in between it and run my knife up. I'm not even close to it now. Here's where everything's going to get exposed. Look at that. That's your stomach. I didn't pop it, nothing. So now, you can feel in here. You're in that cavity, and you're in that little wall I was telling you about. This is the vital organs in here. Cut around, kind of free myself up a little bit. Get through that little vital organ wall. I don't know what you call that, I really don't. I wish I was more in tune with the inside anatomy. But like just like this, I reached up in here and I'm holding the esophagus. So what I'll do, take my knife, real careful, you don't want to cut yourself now. I'll cut that esophagus as high as I can. Okay, that's cut. We want to start pulling everything back. Everything should be free now. There's the heart. Oh, look at that. However, this is where you can see, obviously, where you hit the deer. You can tell right here, I put one right through his heart. Right here, I'll check that out. I'm going to save that for later. I have a piece of arrow in here too, that you want to be careful. I also like to, see, that's the lungs. Another thing I like to do And I don't know if anybody's ever told you this before or what the science is behind it. I like to check the liver. The liver is kind of your window into how healthy the deer is, which is right here. What I'll do is I'll scrape it a little bit, scrape a little bit of the blood off, and you can tell a lot. You can see if there's any spots, like real big spots, or any kind of imperfections in the liver. This one's clean. You'll see it right off the bat, and if I ever find anything bad with the liver, it might be something where you might not want to eat that deer, because that means something bad's going on with his blood, and that's just my thoughts on there. But anyway, so now you got everything out of here. It's your whole guts. It's your stomach. It's your lungs, liver, heart. You see me cut out. All this is just a lot of fat that's in here and stuff. You don't get that out there. That's nonsense. You got your inner tenderloins right here, and then so once you're back to here, well, you'll usually see. You gotta look for it. Here's your colon, and then there'll be your bladder right in here as well. That is, you don't want to pop that either. So what you do, you got everything sitting right here. All your guts are out. What I'll do, here's your colon, the lower intestine. Come down just a little bit. Okay, so now you're going to cut George's butt. Again, you don't want to go too crazy. Some states too require you to keep the testicles on the deer, like ours does. I think you have to keep at least one on, just to prove what it is. I don't know the theory behind that. I mean, if you got a buck, you got a buck. So as you're going, you're just pulling. Really it. You're just kind of pulling. Get everything out of there. Freeing yourself up. There's nothing to be afraid of now. Everything's out and you're good to go. So the other thing you do, go down here to the butt. You want to cut around it, or another great tool actually I like to use is called the butt out. That thing works great. I don't have it on me right now. It's in my other hunting bag. It's not with me. So what you do is just cut around here. Cut around this butt. Because you want to loosen all this up. Come down here, free up the skin. There's also a bone right here. You can cut through that. I've seen people actually cut through the bone and split the the hind quarter into two. That's not necessary, especially if you're in the field. Don't try to stick your knife in there and try to cut around. It's not necessary. I watched a video with Steve Rinella, and that's what he did. He used his little saw blade on his multi-tool knife, and he cut it around. And that's it's a great idea. I'll never take anything from Steve Rinella because he's a great hunter and great advocate for our sport, but that's not necessary. So now freed everything out, kind of feel into the colon, the cavity. Feel down in here. This is where the bladder will be. Just see right off the bat if there's any pee in there. Ooh. This guy's actually kind of full of pee. So what you could do, actually, if you had a little bag on you or something, you could take this bladder and you got some really fresh, deer urine. If you had a way to keep it, throw it in a bag. So here's his bladder. I squeezed it all up. Get that out of there. There it goes. Urethra tube. And that's it. That's your whole deer right there. The whole kit and caboodle. Everything's out again. Like I said, I'll get in there and just kind of clean everything out. Make sure all that nasty part is out of there. All in their colon and stuff, and that's it. You can look and check out your cavity. But other than that, yeah, you see there's the bone right here. This is the split between your two hindquarters, and I do my own butchering, so I kind of know right where to cut. But yeah, that's not necessary. Just cut through the. You cut around the butt, pull everything out, try to make sure that you don't cut through the bladder. You don't want to get pee in there or poop. Poop's probably the easiest way, because if you get a little poop in there, you can just kind of grab it and throw it out, and you're good to go. From this point, what I'll do is, because there's a little bit of blood in the cavity, I'm just going to flip them over, let it drain out a little bit, and you're good to go. You're really good to go after this. This was the whole process. All right. Hopefully this helps somebody out. Again, this is just my way. If you wanted to, you could cut up higher than here if you don't want to reach up. But either way, this is just my way. Thanks you guys for watching. His cousin, her cousin, your cousin Vinny. Hopefully this helps somebody out. And good luck, everybody. I'll talk to you later.